It is Monday, January the 9th, 2023. Good morning, I'm Pearson Bowen. This is the CBC Morning Report. The new school term gets underway today for teachers and tomorrow for students. The Barbados Union of Teachers has attended various meetings to discuss the resumption of school and other matters. Now, to discuss back-to-school readiness with us is Asha Yearwood, the Deputy General Secretary of the Barbados Union of Teachers. Good morning to you, Ms. Yearwood.
Good morning, Pearson.
Thank you for joining us. Now, at the conclusion of all those meetings you've had with your membership, what are they saying about the readiness to resume school from today?
Well, of course, teachers are always ready and raring to get into school to ensure that our charges are ready for the world and to get into the world of work. Of course, there are always concerns because everybody's not the same. So, of course, teachers want to make sure that their working environment is going to be safe and it's going to be a place that is pleasant for work and doing their jobs.
That's a broad
But I wouldn't say there.
Are there any
Yes, I was just about to say I wouldn't say there are any major concerns, but of course there are schools that are on our radar, such as the St. Boniface Nursery, the Lawrence T. Gay School, the Belmont Primary. So those are schools which we will be keeping a close eye on to ensure that the staff are satisfied with the conditions that they're returning to work under. So for example, at the St. Boniface Nursery, we were told that worst case scenario, the school would be ready by Saturday and teachers should be ready to return to that environment today. So we'll be awaiting word from the staff members there to ensure that they are satisfied with the conditions that they're returning to at that particular institution. The Belmont School, they had some security concerns, and we'll await their word as well to ensure that they feel safe in that environment. Of course, we've seen reported in the media with the Lawrence T. Gay School that they will be continuing with the satellite centers, and we're working with the Ministry of Education to ensure that that particular site is ready for students in the future and staff, because they have been having several concerns, especially the smell of the odor over the last couple of years. And we're working along with the Ministry of Education to get to the bottom of that. The Ministry of Education, and I know you would not have asked me this, Pearson, so I'm probably preempting you. The Ministry of Education is doing all that they can, or they have assured us that they're doing all that they can to rectify that particular problem. So they've been working on getting rid of a dumpster, removing the tires from the school, ensuring that the wells are sealed and no gases are coming out of those wells. So they've said that they've done those tests already with the wells. So we're waiting and hoping that this particular situation can soon be rectified.
One of the other adjustments that would have happened while on vacation was the removal of the mask mandate and now making it optional. Are there concerns raised by your membership about that particular move?
I would say there are always people who will be concerned about the removal of the mask mandate, because we have to remember that there are those persons who have comorbidities and there are others who have family members with comorbidities who may be very ill, and teachers want to protect their families. But there are also others who are very happy to get rid of this mask mandate, because there are some in the younger age groups who, when they're teaching, they want to be clear, ensure that students see certain things when they're speaking. And it allows for people, well, what the new protocol allows for teachers and students to choose to wear a mask if they want to. And those who prefer not to, I believe that will be their way forward and their choice in terms of the mask. But of course, there's nothing saying you cannot wear a mask if you feel unsafe in the environment. So we would suggest to those members who want to wear their mask, go ahead and wear your mask. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's the ugly specter of violence in our community which has crept now into the school compound. What assurances are being given to the Barbados Union of Teachers about their security, the safety of students and teachers alike?
What I would say is we're working very closely with the Ministry of Education to ensure that there is a reduction of violent incidences in school. Now, we're hoping that the school's code of conduct will be out soon, and that should cover several areas, or it's been a draft for a while. So hopefully that will be out soon, and it would guide teachers and guide students and parents into the acceptable behaviors in school. Now, we would hope that people understand that the school is an institution where discipline should be top priority. But there are always those within the society who choose alternative ways to behave. So we will hope to see those things which will be clear to teachers, students on their roles and how they should conduct themselves in schools. And hopefully that would improve the situation. Another area which we've been trying to work on with the ministry for several months is the issue of security. And there are several primary schools who do not have a security guard on their compound. There are secondary schools who have one security guard on the compound, and it does not augur well for a secure working environment. So we've been working with the ministry and urging them to get those guards in place, and they've been saying to us, we're really trying to get this problem rectified. So we're hoping that that is something that can be fixed soon. So I'm calling on any other powers out there who are capable of assisting us with this problem to please step forward and help when it comes to the security in schools and upgrading the number of security guards that we find on the school plans.
Ms. Yearwood, we have to leave it right there, but thank you so much for joining us this morning to begin the discussion as students and teachers prepare to resume classes from today. Thank you so much, Ashley Yearwood, the Deputy General Secretary of the Barbados Union of Teachers. We'll take a break here on the Morning Report, but coming up, COVID updates, and Ukraine says Russia missed on their retaliatory strike.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and
China has lifted pandemic restrictions on foreign travel, ending quarantine requirements for inbound travelers, and with it, nearly 3 years of self-imposed isolation.
For the first time since the beginning of the pandemic, Peng Fei is getting ready for a trip to Thailand. He says he's overjoyed China has ended its strict zero-COVID border controls.
Absolutely, I'm so passionate about it, and because I've been stuck here for like 3 years. The urge is so strong. I really want to travel abroad, like at least to Thailand, somewhere easy.
From Sunday, those returning to China no longer have to undergo quarantine. The change has sparked a surge in travel bookings. Japan, South Korea, and the United States are among popular destinations. Thailand has topped the list. Staff in this Bangkok hotel are looking forward to welcoming back Chinese tourists. 5 million are expected this year.
Chinese visitors are vital for the tourism industry throughout the country. They not only spend money in Bangkok, but they usually travel nationwide.
China's borders with Hong Kong have also been reopened. These passengers are among the first to cross without needing to isolate at a government facility.
This weekend also marks the beginning of Chunyun, the travel period leading up to Lunar New Year. Chinese railway departments expect 2 billion trips to be made over the next few weeks, many by migrant workers who were unable to travel home in previous years due to strict zero-COVID policies.
But widespread COVID-19 infections have prompted the government to issue guidelines cautioning against spreading the virus in rural areas. Governments abroad have also raised concerns, with more than a dozen countries, including the United Kingdom, France and Australia, imposing restrictions on passengers from China. Peng Fei says he'll steer clear of those countries for now, and is just relieved that China's days of global isolation seem to be ending.
Well, 2022 has been described as a successful year for Jamaica's tourism sector. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett notes the industry has largely recovered from the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic that hit the world in 2020.
2022 was a successful year for Jamaica's tourism sector. He notes the industry has largely recovered from the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic that hit the world in 2020. The minister outlines areas that saw a boost.
We could safely say that we have recovered just at the verge of 2019 in terms of stopover arrivals, but definitely ahead of 2019 in terms of our earnings. We've recovered strongly in terms of the return of workers to the industry. We do have a gap to be filled there, as I think the world has experienced. The supply chain disruption has affected human capital.
Minister Bartlett says though a gap remains for workers, there are still a substantial amount to keep the industry afloat. He notes that tourism's recovery has been faster than most industries on a global scale. However, the minister has concerns over the continuation of the Russia-Ukraine conflict's effect on the supply chain.
Continued recovery, as we call it, is fraught with other issues. There are, besides the supply chain disruptions that we know of and the war in Ukraine that continues to wage, there are food security issues that are still out there. There are also now issues in relation to inflation, issue in relation to possibilities of a deepened recession, as even the IMF is indicating that perhaps a third of the world may be in some, if not deep, recession.
He also highlighted that the ministry has always had a long-term plan, along with including partnerships to create alternative ways in which the sector benefits.
As Guyana and the rest of the world continues to battle against the COVID pandemic, the Ministry of Health has procured the Pfizer-BioNTech bivalent COVID-19 vaccine. They were sourced through the COVID-19 Vaccines Global Access COVAX mechanism. The vaccines are expected in Georgetown this month.
Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony, during Friday's COVID-19 update, said the first shipment is expected in January.
Right now we are expecting in the first shipment to have about 7,000 doses. And we've asked for more, so later on we'll be getting more.
The bivalent vaccine, also known as an updated COVID-19 vaccine, includes a component of the original strain of the COVID-19 virus to provide broad protection and a component of the Omicron variant to provide better protection against variants that are deemed more deadly. According to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the bivalent vaccine is authorized for use as a single booster dose in individuals 5 years and older, at least 2 months after completion of a primary dose.
Once we get it, we'll put out suitable advisories so that people can access these vaccines. The main thing here is that with our primary doses, Guyana would have done relatively well. We are about 80% first dose, about something percent second dose. That's relatively well. So most people in Guyana would have had their primary doses, which means that most people would be eligible for the bivalent.
In the meantime, the Sinopharm, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, and Pfizer vaccines are available to the public.
Russia has claimed its military carried out a deadly retaliatory strike on barracks used by Ukrainian soldiers in the Donbas region, but Ukraine denies there were any casualties in the attack.
Ukraine said a school was damaged, but that no one died in the attack. Russia said the strike was in retaliation for Ukraine's New Year's strike, which killed dozens of Russian soldiers, but provided no evidence to back up its claim. Journalists at the scene said there was no sign of any casualties, while locals said windows were blown out of buildings, but there was nothing notable about the attack.
There was an explosion and then another, a series of explosions, and one made the windows shake. Really, there's nothing else to tell you, just a normal day.
I just went back to sleep. I thought about what to do next, but I just went back to bed.
Well, meanwhile, 50 Ukrainian servicemen were freed on Sunday as part of a prisoner swap with Russia. Video on social media show the men whose heads had been shaved singing the Ukrainian national anthem soon after their release. They reportedly include soldiers captured in Mariupol and at the Chernobyl nuclear power station. Moscow says 50 Russian soldiers were also released as part of the same deal.
Well, coming up this morning on Morning Barbados, the Posh Challenge. What is it and how can you be a part of it? We'll be joined by the leader of Posh Lifestyle. We'll talk to her a little bit about what that all means. There's a book called Poems of Parishes. What's the poem for your parish and why has the author written that book? He will join us this morning to talk to us a little bit more about that. Also this morning we'll start a new series called Live, Life, Love, Hope Talks with Dr. Denise Charles. And today we want to take a look at living your life as a real person in an era of social media. So look out for that in just a little while when you join me at 6:30 for Morning Barbados. The morning report continues in just a moment, but after the break, alarming stats to mark the start of Drug Awareness Week.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Maxback Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for our new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences.
90% of the people battling drugs and substance abuse are men. This revelation from the Minister of Home Affairs, Wilfred Abrams, during a service at the Church of the Nazarene at Collymore Rock yesterday. It was held to mark the start of Drug Awareness Week, for which the theme this year is Our Workplace, Our Future, Our Workplace. Trevor Thorpe reports.
Speaking on the sidelines of the church service, Minister Abrams said 9 out of 10 people with substance abuse problems are men. Noting there's no escaping that reality, he added that there needs to be a focus on young men in particular.
During this month, look out. We're going to put a lot of information out there. Digest it, read it, understand it. It may not apply to you, but it may help you to spot an issue developing or an already crystallized issue in somebody close to you or somebody you love. And unless we know what to look for, we can't help the persons. Unless we know what to do, we take them no further down that road. So for this month, let us learn as much as we can about the scourge of illegal drugs, about substance abuse in all its forms, and let us apply that knowledge and that information to try to wipe it out on our communities and our families, because it all redounds to the benefit of Barbados if we get this under control.
Earlier in his address to the congregation, the Home Affairs Minister also spoke about the impact of substance abuse on the workplace.
Additional research shows that employees who use illicit drugs miss 10 times more work days than other employees. They're 3 times more likely to injure themselves or somebody else on the job. And the employee having trouble with alcohol operates at 50% efficiency and averages 22 lost days per year, and cost the employers a minimum of $1,500 to $4,000 per year in lost productivity.
He said the NCSA is playing its part in helping to address the problem.
The NCSA is aggressively developing its research and data collection capacity to properly and scientifically inform its programming and responses. The Council recently concluded a workplace survey, and its findings will be used to improve drug education in the workplace as well as assist with crafting workplace drug policies, both in the public and the private sectors. Against this backdrop, I commend the NCSA for staying ahead of the curve.
Recent research by the NCSA has also reinforced the notion that substance abuse is not only a problem among young people. Manager of the NCSA, Betty Hunt, referenced the findings of a study and highlighted the point.
Based on information contained in the 2021 report of the Barbados Drug Information Network, when one looks at the age of distribution of persons admitted to the psychiatric hospital for treatment, 19.9 or almost 20%, 1/5 of all persons admitted for substance abuse treatment were 51 years and older. And I saw a category of 61 and older. So church, I want to address you. Your intervention cannot be solely tied to young people. You must recognize the vulnerability of some of the older generation who are now in need of your support.
The NCSA official called on the church to reach out and help rebuild lives and support individuals, families and communities in the fight against drug abuse and addiction. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
A Barbadian diplomat believes the time is right for the Caribbean to rise and for countries of the region to be global leaders. Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary for Climate Change, Elizabeth Thompson, says the people of the region must show the world the gift of which they have been endowed, that being their intellect. Ambassador Thompson was the featured speaker at the 2023 Prime Minister New Year's Gala hosted by Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Terence Drew, in Basseterre.
Our capacity, our creative genius, the warmth and kindness, and make no mistake, it is not an accident that the Caribbean is one of the greatest tourism destinations in the world. People do not come because we are beautiful, even though we are. They come for the beauty of the people. They come because of who we are, not what is here. They come because when they come to this place, to this region, there is a vibe that tells them this is where they have to be, and it is this vibe which we are now going to use to leverage what we have to offer to take our place on the global stage. This is the time.
A commercial capitalizing on Barbados being the birthplace of mega superstar Rihanna is currently being filmed. The recording is being done in part in Rihanna's Drive, which is named in honor of the international recording artist and national hero. As a consequence, that road and sections of Westbury Road, St. Michael, were out of bounds to regular traffic yesterday. Grants Gap, Paris Gap and Westbury Road were the affected areas. Only residents were allowed access as the international film crew with boom mics and dolly cams was busy shooting content for the commercial. Officials on site were tight-lipped on the activity and gave no details on the elements of the exercise but promised to provide information in due course. CBC understands that it is supposed to be a commercial on Barbados. The Consumers Electronics Show is on in Las Vegas, where we're getting the first look at the next generation technology.
A roller coaster of new consumer technology has come to Las Vegas, with thousands of companies showing off the new, the cool, and the kind of weird. Some will hit the market with a bang. Others will be duds.
I could run down for you over the years all the different trendy things that have been the next big thing, and then the next year we come back and it's completely forgotten about.
Among this year's highlights, LG has a new wireless TV screen. No more messy cables. The content is streamed from a box that can be situated several meters away. The integration of tech into the automotive world continues.
Honda and Sony have joined together to create a new company called Afeela, in which they're going to make a brand new electric vehicle that's going to have the latest technology from Sony in entertainment, in sound quality, in cameras, to make a really smart electric vehicle.
BMW has an AI-equipped model that can talk to drivers and learn their preferences. And it changes colors to suit your mood.
It could have checkerboard patterns, it could have stripes, If you want to have it blue one day and red another, you could do that. You could do whatever you like with it.
Augmented reality products are represented at CES, including these cool headsets from U.S. company Magic Leap. The metaverse is gradually taking shape, although no one really knows what that shape will be. And by the way, where am I? Sustainability is a theme at the show. John Deere has a hybrid electric farm tractor. There are electric motorcycles, bikes, and scooters, and even boats.
Well, Barbadians Rashid Minard and Rashad Hall were on the winning team on the opening night of the Elite One Caribbean Professional Basketball League. It's a professional basketball league based in the Caribbean, which kicked off its winter season over the weekend at the National Arena in Kingston, Jamaica. Minard and Hall, playing for the Horizon, defeated the Storm by a whopping 52 points, 114-62. They'll next take on the Wave on Wednesday, with Minard in particular expected to play a key role. Mark Seal has his story.
Barbados has several basketballers with a dream of making it to the NBA or another professional basketball league. And one player who has his eye firmly on the prize is Rashid Minard, the MVP from the 2022 BABA League. The 6'2" shooting guard from Pinelands is currently playing in the Elite One Caribbean Professional League's 2023 winter season in Jamaica. He believes this is the path to take in order to get to the top.
I feel like Toronto can be after, but right now the Jamaica thing can lead me to something else. So I just work on 5-on-5 for now, and then Toronto afterwards.
Okay, and to get to the professional league, you know, sometimes you got to look at playing some NCAA, Division I, all that sort of thing. How's that looking for you?
Well, I tried that route before, and it was kind of iffy, so I just went straight to the Jamaica one thing. Well, I went England with my godfather, and I enjoy watching the league down there, and I just hope to get there eventually.
What do you think about the NBA?
Well, I think they got other leagues that are better than the NBA, in my opinion. But obviously, NBA is like one of the highest paid and most viewed basketball. So I just want to go Europe and then probably NBA.
His mother, Alicia Carrington, says basketball is Rashid's life as he eats, drinks, and sleeps basketball.
That must be just his life now. He's got back, he or Rashid got rest. It's be work, gym, and basketball. So like when he left in the morning, sometimes I don't see till when he come and show me, when he get him at night, sometimes I be done sleeping, everything.
Minard's coaches at Pinelands, Ronaldo Mon and Charles Vanderpool, see only one path forward for this talented shooting guard.
If you look at the level of basketball that Rashid is playing, the level of basketball that he played only in Jamaica a few months ago, he can take that anywhere. He can play college ball and he can play D1. And he can probably play professional basketball. He can make a job out of this. If you see the professional players and you look at Rashid Minard, you know that he can do this.
If you had to rate his future, wasn't it?
Has to be playing pro somewhere at a very competitive level. He has that hunger and opportunities are opening for him, and I think he's going to seize them as much as possible. And once he gets a foot in the door, he's going to keep going. He's not going to give up.
He's the son of former national basketballer, the late Ryan Maynard, and Rashid is on board with doing what it takes to get to the top. And for now, that's the Caribbean's professional league.
Thank you, Mark. Let's take a look at forecast conditions now through your window to see what's in the weather for today. At the moment, Barbados 24.6 degrees Celsius under fair skies, slight haze there is. The winds are coming from the east at 30 kilometers an hour. Tides today, the low tide first is at 2 minutes to 11 this morning and again at 9 minutes to midnight. And the first high tide and only today at 10 minutes after 5 this afternoon. Seas today are moderate in open water, swells ranging from 1.5 to 2 meters and steady. In the forecast for Barbados today, partly sunny with a few brief isolated light showers. And in the forecast for Barbados tonight, a mix of clear skies and clouds with a few brief scattered light showers. And now we'll look at some forecast conditions for some international cities. And that's it for today's edition of the CBC Morning Report. I'm Pearson Bowen. Morning Barbados starts now.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Hey everybody, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Monday. We're at the start of a brand new week. Monday, the 9th of January. Isn't time just ticking by so very quickly? Already we're to the 9th of January. A good morning to all of you everywhere. Hope you had a lovely weekend. I surely did. And thank you so much for waking up to keep us company on Morning Barbados. To those of you everywhere on our streams on Facebook and YouTube, good morning to you too. Now, coming up today, if time permits, I'll give you a chance to unscramble some letters as well. But have you seen the new rates for taxi fares across the island? Have you seen them? What do you think? We'll give you a chance this morning to weigh in on that when we open our lines and get to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the new proposed rates for taxi operations across the island to various destinations from various points as well? Also today, have you also seen Barbados at night all lit up? Oh, I can't wait to share it with you. Before the end of the show today, we shall share with you what it looks like, and it's going to be a stunning view. I don't think one you've ever seen before, so stay with us to see what that is all about. We'll also today meet an IT technician turned author. His name is Ryan, and he will join us to talk about his book, Sugar Belly and Friends. What is he talking about? Well, he can't wait to share that with us in a little while. Today we're starting a new series called Live, Life, Love and Hope Talks with Dr. Denise Charles. You clamored for her, and so we're bringing her back to start a new series today. Starting today with taking a look at social media, how it has consumed so many of you, and now you live your life through the lens of your life. And so, is that real? And if not, what can you do to ensure that you live your best self? We'll talk to Dr. Denise Charles about that as well, so stick around, don't miss it. There's a book called Poems of Parishes, and there's a poem for your parish. What's that poem for your particular parish? The author of that book will join us this morning to talk more about that. But I want to get started this morning by taking a look at the posh lifestyle and taking on the posh challenge. That's what we're going to be talking about first of all. Joining us to talk about it and how it works is Melissa Gibbons, the owner of the Posh Lifestyle. Melissa, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning, Pearson.
Happy New Year. Welcome to Morning Barbados. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm fine, and Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, when we hear the word posh, we snub our nose and we think, oh, you just want to be poor, great. You want to think you're better than anybody else. And so you're the owner of the Posh Lifestyle, but that's not the context in which you look at what you do. Explain to us what the Posh Lifestyle is about.
The Posh Lifestyle is all about positivity. So POSH stands for positive, overcomer, strong-willed, and happy. So at the Posh Lifestyle, I'm always promoting positivity. I work with women on their mindset and helping them create that right mindset for success in their personal life as well as their business.
I'm looking at your shirt alone, and you're saying the qualities of a boss lady, confidence, indeed, and a whole list of things as well. And so from what you do flow all of those kinds of things where you're encouraging people to live their best selves, to truly live their potential. And now you set for them a challenge. What's the Posh Challenge about?
So this challenge, I started doing challenges last year, January. So, and it has been going very well. So this challenge, the challenge this month is a new year. So it's a new year and it's a new mindset. And we're talking about shedding those self-limiting thoughts. So, you know, in January, people are usually talking about shedding weight. So for this challenge, I'm all about shedding those self-limiting thoughts that can weigh us down and keep us from taking action.
Someone is going to say to you, that's a whole lot easier said than done. So how does the challenge work?
So the challenge is for 21 days. It's pretty easy. You sign up for the challenge, and then every morning at 5 a.m. for 21 days, you receive a task. And this task you have to complete by the end of the day. So you have up until 9 p.m. to check in and say that you've completed it. So every day for 21 days, you receive a task that surrounds helping you to shed those self-limiting thoughts. So I create activities that can, you know, that you work with every day you do. Sometimes it's physical, sometimes mental, sometimes it involves listening to something. So whatever it is for that day, you have to do it and complete and check in by the end of the day.
Okay. So at the crack of dawn, we'll receive an instruction from you to do take a particular action. And by the end of the day, the setting sun, then we respond to you and let you know, how was it today? Basically, that's what you're checking in to do. But you said over 21 days. Why over 21 days?
21 days. You said, so, you know, normally it takes like 21 days, 3 weeks to build a new habit. So for 21 days, you're getting accustomed to feeding your mind with positive things, helping to conquer whatever self-limiting thought, because we all have them. So for 21 days, we're helping to form a new habit, flood our minds with positivity for those 21 days.
And I'm glad you put it in.
It helps you to, and hopefully it helps you to continue even after the challenge.
And I'm glad you put it in, explained it in that way, because oftentimes we hear people say, stop doing that, stop whatever, but nobody tells you what to do. And you're saying, in order to change this habit, you're going to replace the habit with something far more positive. And it takes 21 days for it to be inculcated. And that's because over time, it takes time. Those 21 days are time, consistent time. Repetition is going to be the game that you're talking about. And so at the crack of dawn at 5 o'clock every morning, that email comes in, and by the end of the day, having done the task through the day, you report and say what benefits one has derived from that particular activity. Now, for those ladies watching, and is this only open to females, by the way?
Unfortunately, yes, at this time, because at the Posh Lifestyle, I work with women, and you know, it helps me too. So I am able to understand what women might be going through in certain aspects. So that's why I cater to women at the Posh Lifestyle. So, and once you sign up for the challenge, it's free, and they sign up, and and you begin working from day one. In fact, today is the first day of the challenge. So everyone who has signed up, they should have an email already in their inbox. And it's not too late to jump on. They can still sign up today.
So where can people go to sign up today, to jump on, to be a part of the Posh Challenge?
So you can visit my social media page on Instagram at the Posh Lifestyle BB. So once you visit there, you will click the link in my bio, and it takes you to the page where you can sign up on my website. Yes, so there, and then once you scroll to the bottom, you will see the sign up form. Just enter your information, and it's automated. So I will receive it, and you will be a part of the challenge.
See, right there it is on your screen. Sign up.
Yes.
And once you sign up, it's as simple as that. You pay nothing, but you benefit in a tremendous way from all that you will be receiving every day at 5 o'clock in the morning. That email will pop into your inbox, and heaven forbid, check your spam email as well if it popped into your spam. Don't miss it. In other words, don't miss it. Check and check, because your guarantee to all of us, Melissa, is that that email will drop in, and once it's dropped in, you want us, the ladies, really to open up, see what it's about, and go from there. Are these challenges difficult? Is it something that that would not be that difficult to accomplish?
No, I wanted to make it easy because people have other things doing. People are working, they have the children and so forth. So I didn't want to make it too difficult. So it's pretty easy, but it's impactful. That is the one thing I wanted to ensure that it will be impactful. And from the reviews I've received so far, the women love it. Some people say, you know, it's helped them tremendously. So it's very impactful.
If you want to become a positive overcomer, ladies, the POSH Challenge is on, and it is yours to engage with. Now, at the end of it all, at the end of the 21 days, and we've all checked in, and they've shared all their comments and their successes with you, are there some prizes at the end of it all? Or is it just the benefit truly is just what the change is for the individual?
Well, you benefit from the change, of course, but I also put together prizes for the ladies. So I look at, you know, the women that are consistent, because, you know, sometimes, you know, you start and then you drop off. I look at who has consistently participated, if you checked in time, and so forth, and how you interacted and so forth. And at the end of it all, I put together prizes for the ladies from the Posh Lifestyle. Sometimes I'm able to partner with other small businesses as a way to promote their brand as well and to expose their brand to a new set of audience. So sometimes I partner with other small businesses who donate prizes for the challenge. So at the end of it all, so you not only benefit from the change, but you also get fantastic prizes.
Indeed so. So as the old people say, it behooves you to really sign up and be a part of the challenge indeed. And again, remind folks where they can go to sign up for the challenge, the POSH Challenge.
So you can visit my Instagram page at the Posh Lifestyle BB. And once you click the link in my bio, you will see sign up for the challenge. And yeah,
right.
You
so
sign up, enter your information,
and
you're.
And today being the 9th, that means by the end of January, you would see the change completed in you, that turnaround in your habits, that turnaround in your outlook, that turnaround in your point of view. Because POSH, which represents positive, overcomers, strong-willed, happy people, that's what it's all about. And so if you find yourself wallowing through life and you're struggling in some way, take the POSH Challenge. It is going to enhance you and really build you up. And so that's what we encourage as many of you as possible, ladies, to be able to do. And in doing so, I suppose opportunity will come for them to share among themselves as well their success stories. I guess you'll be posted on your page as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
So you can post the reviews and interactions from the challenge there.
Nice, nice. We're going to be tracking this with you as well. Melissa Gibbons, owner of the Posh Lifestyle. We want to encourage you to continue encouraging others. You know, sometimes, you know, you'd work so hard in the honor of others that you forget yourself. And I don't want you to ever forget yourself. Always continue to press on. You've done very well thus far. And we want to encourage you to keep doing well everything that you do, because so many people benefit from your energy and your passion and your service. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Pearson. Have a good day.
And you. Thank you very much indeed. Melissa Gibbons, the owner of Posh Lifestyle. The challenge indeed is on. Remember to go to her Instagram page, Posh Lifestyle BB, and you can sign up. It's 21 days. The challenge started today. You can sign up today and you can still be a part of it. By the end of the month, then you will see some other wonderful prizes, not just the change in yourself. We'll take a break here. We're coming back with more in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados will love to feature your book.
We're now 15 minutes to go to the hour of 7 o'clock. You know, Eden Lodge Primary, the Combermere School, the University of the West Indies claim him as theirs. But he's really belonging to the world. His name is Ronald Lewis. He's an author, and he's written the book, The Poem of Parishes, a short tribute to the 11 parishes of Barbados. He joins us now. Good morning to you, Ronald.
Morning, how are you doing?
I'm well, thank you for asking. How are you doing?
I'm good, I'm good. Not as warm as I would like to be, but I'm okay.
That's your fault. You know where to come for the warmth, Ronald. But that's all right. Name for me the 11 parishes of Barbados. Let me hear you.
Man, you're trying to test me so early?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's go. St. Lucie, St. Peter, St. Andrew, St. James, St. Thomas, St. Joseph, St. Michael, St. George, St. John, Christ Church, St. Philip. Did I miss any?
I don't think you did. You did very well. You did very well. No, I started there simply because that was the rationale behind you doing your book. The fact that sometimes you're asked to recall all 11 and you stumble because you may have forgotten one or two. So talk to me a little bit about this book and what it meant compiling it in the way that you have, the Poem of Parishes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I think any Bajan who has moved overseas for a long period of time, I feel as though a point comes where you start to feel a little disconnected, you know, from your roots. And, you know, you become somewhat of a dictionary for people who hear about Barbados, right? It's like, oh, where are you from? Barbados. And then they start asking questions and everything like that. So you want to feel as though you could represent the country in a good way. So when it's been 20 years for me since I've left the island. I was there last week, you know, for the holidays, which was great. And over that time, I felt I was kind of losing some of that connection. And as I was trying to recall some of the details, I felt like I was, you know, missing some pieces. So I took on this project to really help me reconnect to the island and what I grew to love.
And so you could have simply said, you know, in St. Lucie there is a St. Lucie Parish Church Animal Flower Cave, in Christchurch there is whatever, and list it in that way. But you instead did poetry. And why did you choose that as the way to help you remember?
You know what? I have a 7-year-old son, and in picking the books for him, I realized there are different techniques that authors use to help kids remember things, right? So I remembered not having anything as a kid to teach me the 11 parishes. So I said, you know what, why not make a simple poem that pretty much helps these kids understand kind of what the basic kind of layout is, where all the parishes are located, something that would make it easy for them to remember.
And so it makes it easy enough for him to remember, and for you too, right?
Yes. The memory's not great, but at least it gives me some rhymes to make it all stick.
Love it. What parish you are from? Which parish?
Mainly St. Michael in the Eden Lodge Terrace area.
Good. What's the poem for St. Michael?
Well, it's one poem for all.
Oh, for
11
all.
parishes. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Mad. I was hoping you had one specifically for my parish of St. Lucie.
No. It's one poem that helps you kind of remember all 11 and gives you an idea of where they're located on the map.
Oh, really? That's how it's structured, in that kind of way?
Yes. Yeah, so as you go through the book, it actually starts with a blank island map. It's beautiful illustrations. I worked with a great illustrator to get them done. You start with a blank outline of the map, and as you read a line of the poem, the parishes start populating into the different parts of the island.
Look at this. This is what the book looks like, folks. This is what it looks like. And it's for anybody 3 years and over, of course. You know, you can actually pick it up and engage with it. And within there, you get to know more about my homeland, the parish of St. Lucie in particular, but about the beautiful island of Barbados as a whole. And you engage in some poetry. Is it pictorially depicted as well? You know, but I see images of this or that.
So for the first part with the poem, you're going to see illustrations. You're going to see the island come to life, parish by parish. And towards the back, I did a spread where I did some, 8 or 9 photos, some real photos of the island. And I listed a couple, facts, some quick facts for people, who don't know the island as much, just so they can remember some of the key facts and figures.
Would you have a copy of the book near to you at the moment?
I do.
Good. Turn the pages, let's see. Turn some pages, let us see about what you were just speaking so we can get a sense of what's in that book. And by the way, when you search, right, I'm reading your shirt. It says Barbados versus what? Everybody. There we go.
I'm always representing. I'm always representing.
Well done, Ronald. Well done. So, right.
So, let me know if you can see this.
We can see it. Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Okay.
Right. And these are the pages of the book, folks. So we're talking about poem of
sorry.
Parishes. Yes. Okay. And as you do it, you say, St. Lucie, is it, what's that? Put it up again. Put it up again. Put it up again. Put it up again. Let me read it for you. Come back. St. Lucie, come back. Center to your face. Right. St. Lucie to the north of the island is prime. You're absolutely right. Thank you for that acknowledgement.
I know it's talking to you, right? So I wrote that line specifically for you.
You did well. You did well. So this book now is available, I suppose, everywhere. Is it available for download? Is it available in hard copy, soft copy? Explain to me.
So right now it's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, a lot of, popular publishers there.
Yes.
I'm recently trying to get it available in Barbados. I sent some copies locally while I was there last week, so I'm waiting to hear back. Shout out to Kirk Douglas, who was able to reach out to CBC to let them know about the book. He got a copy. He loved it. He has 2 girls, so he sent it to CBC, and that got me this great opportunity. So I'm looking forward to hearing back from the folks I sent it to. I would love to make it available in Barbados.
Oh, we can't wait to have it available in Barbados indeed. But for the moment, it's available in some of those external bookstores, Barnes & Noble and the like. And hopefully, eventually, you'll have it online for those who want to purchase it online. There are lots of people today who don't understand the written page. They understand that digital page, their fingers work in a slightly different way. And so it will be interactive. It's great, I think, for children as well to be able to access, so they get to remember the parishes in a very fun way through poetry, and they see it fill in as it goes as well. How long did it take you to compile and compose and to get it all together for publish?
Not long at all. I think the idea came to me quickly. I did a couple drafts of the poem. I found an illustrator who worked in a style that I liked. So I had her kind of work on the island. I pulled some references and so on. And I'm a designer by trade, so I was able to pull the design together myself.
You're showing off, man. That's all right, Ronald. That's all right.
I do a little bit of everything.
Yes, yes. Did you at any time imagine yourself compiling a book and putting out a book like this, or doing a book in the first place?
You know what? I see myself as a creative through and through. And I anything creative I'm interested in. And I just want to get my ideas out. So whatever form it's in, if it comes to me, I want to make it. So it just so happens to be a book. And as a creative, I also have a bucket list, if you will, of things I want to make, right? And I wanted to publish a book. I wanted to build an app. More to come on that. Look out for it. I have an idea for an app for Barbados that I'm working on. So I kind of just want to empty the tank and just kind of get all these ideas that I have in my head out into the world.
From this bucket list which you've created, the book tick, we got that, the app is in progress. Have you completed any else on your bucket list?
Yes. My first book actually was called Alpha Drive. And it's a very visual book to help kids learn cursive, because here in the U.S., they actually don't teach cursive anymore in schools. I don't know what the situation is there in Barbados right now, but I created this very visual book where there are these different scenes, and each scene has a road in some form going through the scene, and that road is actually in the form of a cursive letter. So the idea is for the child to put their finger on the page and trace the letter as they go through these scenes.
Wow, that's brilliant. No, is that book available locally? No.
Not yet. It's hard to be outside of Barbados and get things in. So
get things in, Ronald. Get things in, man.
I'm working on it. Maybe somebody watching this right now could help me get things in.
I really, really hope so, because what you've just described to me sounds like such a great teaching tool for so many. Roosevelt Backo Corbin, who lives in the United States as well, he says this is an island man, I must say, very nice. So he appreciates what you've been doing. And so, we want to be able to, here on the island, to support what you're doing. That's why it's so critical to get those books here. Get them here fast as ever. And so you said you were home just the other day. Just
Yes.
the other day. And how long did you stay?
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
So you were here for the transition of the year.
Yes, yes.
How was
this is the second time in a row I've done that, yeah.
How lucky you are. How was Christmas and how was New Year's for you?
No, it was great, man. It was great. Just reconnecting. Something I told my wife was I literally, when I get here, I feel as though my heart slows to the cadence of the waves. You know what I mean? It's such a reassuring feeling. There's something, you know, people list kind of, you know, the sand, the beaches and so on. Yes, but there's something that comes together when you put those pieces together.
Yeah.
There's something I cannot describe that I think people who have been out of the island for a while coming back, they feel it. And that feeling I had, and I'm introducing my 7-year-old son to it, and he's in love already.
Wow.
But there's a feeling that I get whenever I come back that I just can't describe.
You are so poetic. My heart beats to the cadence of the wave. When I heard that, I thought, wow, can't forget that. That is so beautiful indeed. Well said, well done. I like it. Very poetic. So clearly there's a lot in you that perhaps you didn't even realize before until you started then to pour it out onto the page. And so I'm sure if your English teacher heard you now, they'll probably think, what? Ronald? We never knew, right?
Oh man, no, I think, you know, honestly, I think I've seen sparks early on. I mean, friends and family have always encouraged me to be creative. I don't know if anybody has the archives, but when I was at Commonwealth, there was a contest called Barbados It's Magic, and I entered that. I think it was a short story poem contest, and I didn't win, but I got a special mention, and I got a little plaque, a little trophy, and I still have it.
Wow.
I still have it.
Well done. I'm so proud of you, Anita. And we are immensely proud of you here too. But we're going to get back to the book. The book is called, I've just lost my space, The Poem of Parishes, a short tribute to the 11 parishes of Barbados. And this book will soon, and I'm really crossing fingers here, available to us here on the island. But for those of you who are in farther climes, go to Barnes & Noble, ask them, bombard them about it. Note the name. His name is Ronald Lewis. He's from Barbados, and he has written this book about us. Really showcase, hey, Barbados versus everybody. We can win this. Barbados versus just us against them, and we can do it. And that Ronald is showing you that we can indeed. Of course, anything is possible. Everything is possible when you're from this beautiful island as well. And so 100%. Here it is now. You said your 7-year-old son is fascinated by the Barbadian things and the Barbadian ways. You've clearly spent some time telling him about where you're from.
Yes. It's very important, especially to raising a black son in the United States. It's very important to, you know, give him a sense of where he's from, show him a different way. You know, there are things that are great about this country. There are things that are great about Barbados. I wish I could combine, you know, and pick and choose the certain things, but I can't. But literally, he came here. I think he loved the warmth. He loved the lead pipes. He loves the food. You know, but ultimately, you know, he just he loves the water. He loves it all, you know, and I want him to get a taste of what I had.
Oh man, that's I love what you're doing as a father, in particular, spending the time with your boy to ensure that he can enjoy what you've had as well. And you're doing very well with this one, Ronald. And so, folks, the book is available in Barnes & Noble. It is available there, and it will soon be available here. For those of you on the island who are anxiously awaiting, let's bombard Ronald to get it here. And so, if there's any retailer of books on the island right now who are thinking they'd like to have it in their stores, how can they contact you?
All my information is on ronlewisdesign.com. If you go there, you're going to see all the projects I'm currently working on. You're going to have links to the book. It's also on amazon.com. Again, any local businesses, reach out. Feel free to reach out. I'm willing to work with anyone, you know. Yeah.
RonaldLewisDesigns.com. RonaldLewisDesigns.com is the website to which you go to connect with this amazing Barbadian man here, Ronald Lewis. He's the author of the book Poems of Parishes, a short tribute to the 11 parishes of Barbados. Ronald, you are such fun. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, for sharing with us your creativity and your humanity, all that you've done indeed. And I can't wait to hear what else comes and flows from your pen and from your own mind, because it's already quite fertile. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good
You're
day.
very
Happy
welcome.
New Year.
And you. And likewise indeed. Ronald Lewis is his name. Writing books seems now to be his game, but it's yours too as well. Get a copy of the book as soon as you possibly can. Available at Barnes & Noble, available on Amazon as well. So get your copies today. We're back in a moment with the news on Morning Barbados.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Maxback Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for a new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 1 minute after 7 o'clock now. 90% of the people battling drugs and substance abuse are men. This revelation from the Minister of Home Affairs, Wilfred Abrams, during a service at the Church of the Nazarene at Cullimore Rock yesterday. It was held to mark the start of Drug Awareness Week, for which the theme this year is Our Workplace, Our Future, Our Future, Our Workplace. Trevor Thorpe reports.
Speaking on the sidelines of the church service, Minister Abrams said 9 out of 10 people with substance abuse problems are men. Noting there's no escaping that reality, he added that there needs to be a focus on young men in particular.
During this month, look out. We're going to put a lot of information out there. Digest it. Read it. Understand it. It may not apply to you, but it may help you to spot an issue developing or an already crystallized issue in somebody close to you or somebody you love. And unless we know what to look for, we can't help the persons. Unless we know what to do, we take them no further down that road. So for this month, let us learn as much as we can about the scourge of illegal drugs, about substance abuse in all its forms, and let us apply that knowledge and that information to try to wipe it out in our communities and our families, because it all redounds to the benefit of Barbados if we get this under control.
Earlier in his address to the congregation, the Home Affairs Minister also spoke about the impact of substance abuse on the workplace.
Additional research shows that employees who use illicit drugs miss 10 times more work days than other employees. They're 3 times more likely to injure themselves or somebody else on the job. And the employee having trouble with alcohol operates at 50% efficiency and averages 22 lost days per year, and costs the employers a minimum of $1,500 to $4,000 per year in lost productivity.
He said the NCSA is playing its part in helping to address the problem.
The NCSA is aggressively developing its research and data collection capacity to properly and scientifically inform its programming and responses. The Council recently concluded a workplace survey, and its findings will be used to improve drug education in the workplace, as well as assist with crafting workplace drug policies, both in the public and the private sectors. Against this backdrop, I commend the NCSA for staying ahead of the curve.
Recent research by the NCSA has also reinforced the notion that substance abuse is not only a problem among young people. Manager of the NCSA, Betty Hunt, referenced the findings of a study and highlighted the point.
Based on information contained in the 2021 report of the Barbados Drug Information Network, when one looks at the age of distribution of persons admitted to the psychiatric hospital for treatment, 19.9 or almost 20%, 1/5 of all persons admitted for substance abuse treatment were 51 years and older. And I saw a category of 61 and older. So church, I want to address you. Your intervention cannot be solely tied to young people. You must recognize the vulnerability of some of the older generation who are now in need of your support.
The NCSA official called on the church to reach out and help rebuild lives and support individuals, families and communities in the fight against drug abuse and addiction. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
A Barbadian diplomat believes the time is right for the Caribbean to rise and for countries of the region to be global leaders. Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary for Climate Change, Elizabeth Thompson, says the people of the region must show the world the gift of which they've been endowed, that being their intellect. Ambassador Thompson was the featured speaker at the Prime Minister's New Year's Gala hosted by Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Terence Drew, in Bastille.
Our capacity, our creative genius, the warmth and kindness, and make no mistake, it is not an accident that the Caribbean is one of the greatest tourism destinations in the world. People do not come because we are beautiful, even though we are. They come for the beauty of the people. They come because of who we are, not what is here. They come because when they come to this place, to this region, there is a vibe that tells them this is where they have to be. And it is this vibe which we are now going to use to leverage what we have to offer to take our place on the global stage. This is the time.
A commercial capitalizing on Barbados being the birthplace of mega superstar Rihanna is currently being filmed. The recording is being done in part in Rihanna Drive, which is named in her honor. And national hero Rihanna. As a consequence, that road and sections of Westbury Road, St. Michael, were out of bounds to regular traffic yesterday. Grants Gap, Paris Gap and Westbury Road were the affected areas. Only residents were allowed access as the international film crew with boom mics and dolly cams were busy shooting content for the commercial. Officials on site were tight-lipped on the activity and gave no details on the elements of the exercise but promised to provide information in due course. CBC News understands that it is supposed to be a commercial on Barbados. And that's a look at the news. Until now, we'll have more news coming up at 12 noon in the CBC News Day. Morning Barbados continues in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
The CBC That Made Us, featuring programming from yesteryear which impacted the lives of many Barbadians. Join me, Sean Green, taking you back to some of your favorite shows from the late 70s, 80s and 90s during the series The CBC That Made Us, every Thursday at 8:30 p.m.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It is now 9 minutes after 7 o'clock. This is a segment I've been so looking forward to. Our segment, a new segment we're starting called Life, Love and Hope Talk with Dr. Denise Charles. She is an educator, an academic, an author, a life and a relationship coach, and she's just a good old Bajan girl. And so joining us this morning, Dr. Denise Charles, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson. Happy Monday to you. How are you doing?
I'm well. Happy Monday to you as well. Listen, the last time we had such an overwhelming response to our engagement. We had to have you on. So many people have called and said, you must have her. Could she not do a program on her own? All sorts of things came through. So it says a lot about you and a lot about what you've shared and how it has impacted so many people. And so we're starting this new series. You're welcome. And I want to start by looking at this whole question of how we live our lives through the lens of social media. And oftentimes people define themselves by their social media life. And that can be a little bit false. So where do we start on unpacking that so we get people back to reality?
That's an excellent place to start, Pearson. It's actually one of my pet areas, even as an educator, because we are living in a digital age and we have to begin to think of how we are going to reconfigure our lives so that we fit what is in essence a digital revolution. And how is this affecting our personal lives, as you're saying? Very often there's a lot of pressure for us to more or less keep up with the figurative Joneses, to try to mimic what we see others doing. I've written on this already. There's actually something called, as you know, a trend, a social media trend. And sometimes we get caught up with trying to mimic what we see others doing, or we try to we get caught up with copying a fad. And while there's nothing wrong with wanting to be on the pulse of what is happening globally, if you remember the ice bucket challenge and those types of things, you know, you want to be a part of what's happening across the globe, and that's great. But I think even as we move into a new year and as we think about our lives and how we want to improve ourselves, I think it is critical that we look within to not try to copy other people, but to try to find out, who am I? What am I good at? Who am I as an authentic brand? We hear so much today about branding ourselves and branding our businesses, branding ourselves as social media influencers or as professionals, etc. But are you just copying what everybody else is doing? Are you just copying the trends? You know, everybody today wants to have a foundation. Everybody today wants to call themselves something, some popular term, you know, whether that be a coach, whether a digital marketer. And I'm not shooting down people and their efforts, don't get me wrong. All I'm saying is look within yourself first. Find out, what am I good at? What are the things that I'm comfortable doing and that I do well? And even if there are things that I'm not good at or that I'm not comfortable with or that I need to grow in, can I identify those things and can I go about pursuing knowledge in those areas so that I become a better person? So that when I speak, I'm not speaking just because everybody is saying something and I want to join in. I want to sing in the choir, but I'm speaking from a space of authenticity. You know, that's the word I love. Being authentic, being a real person. And this is something that we have to grow into. You know, not everybody is at the same point in their journey. I'm in my 50s now, Pearson, and I'm not the person that I was when I was in my 20s. You know, when I was in my 20s, I was finding myself still, you know, and when we go into our 30s, you know, and our 40s, all our different decades, they have particular types of features, developmental features. And I want to encourage young people. I love young people. And I want to encourage young people who are, you know, those who, digital natives who use the social media a lot more. You know, yes, I use it a lot myself, but I do understand what I'm saying. I want to encourage them. Find your voice. Find who you really are. And I want to say this to us as well, older people. Find who you really are and key into that person. Become that authentic person and grow where you're planted. Bloom where you're planted. Don't try to copy what everybody else is doing.
That can lead to, for some people, a lot of frustration in finding your own foot, because the ground is shifting ever so often because there's the next person. And that's where I'm talking about now, the negative competition that occurs as a consequence of all of it, and how people begin to reposition themselves and lose their value, lose their true self in just trying to be the next big thing. So I'm asking like that because I want to look at some of the dangers if we don't quite take the time to find our voice. What do you see?
Yes, Pearson. If we don't take the time to find our voice and to connect with who we really are, then we run the risk of leading an inauthentic life. We run the risk of disconnecting with our true heritage, even our Barbadian heritage. Because when you look at it, the global space, the global digital space is its own animal. It has
Yes.
its own attribute. Just spend 2 minutes on TikTok and you'll be sucked into the vortex.
Yes.
You'll find yourself, unable to get away, as it were. And we understand this global push for us almost to be carbon copies of each other across geographical boundaries. So it's critical in this digital space to understand, one, if you are a Barbadian or whichever nationality you are, and particularly if you're a Caribbean person, to identify with the values that make you who you are, because you don't want to lose that. And while we speak about even empowering our students with the skills that can make them global digital citizens, and you yourself, even if you're out of school, you still want to be relevant as a 21st century citizen. You want to be a good digital citizen because we're all interfacing with digital technology. My mom is 85 and she goes on Zoom for her church services. You
Yes,
understand?
yes.
So we're all engaging with the digital space. That's fine. But we don't want to lose our sense of who we are as Barbadians or as Caribbean people, or even if you're from some other nationality. You don't want to lose that. You don't want to lose the sense of who you are in terms of your family and your family values, etc. And if you're unsure, you want to connect with the things that you value, that you think are important, and you want to be able to define those things. You want to be able to live authentically by those things that you believe in. So I think if we just get caught up in copying and being carbon copies and running with the trends and running with the fads, we lose who we are. And when we lose who we are disempowered because we're moving through life not in our full potential, because we're living someone else's life.
Yeah.
We're not living our true life. You understand? And it's okay to embrace your foibles. It's okay to embrace your flaws and to know, well, I'm not the best at this. I'm not the best at that. I need to grow. I need to change. I ask that question. Are we trending or are we changing? Are we just a trend, or are we seeking to really change and maximize what we have within ourselves?
There's a lot of play acting in the social media space as well. I'll say it like that for a reason. If I were to go on the street now, there's so many people who I've encountered who've said, "Oh my gosh, I thought that you knew me." They say that to me. It's so funny because they see me every day and they think, I know him, so he must know me. And oftentimes that's what happens even in social media space as well, where you encounter some of the others and they're thinking, but why did you speak to me? You seem so nice on social media. Here you're like a pig in public. And so you know what I'm talking about. So you encounter that because for some reason you've shown what you thought was your most beautiful self on social media, and then you bring the ugly one out. And I want you to talk to us a little bit about that as well, how true you truly are and consistent you are in all spaces.
And that's a very important point, Pearson, and I want to look at that in the reverse as well. So it is important to manage who we are putting ourselves out there as. And that is true in both respects. So you may come across as being friendly, as being engaging, as being warm. And I had that encounter as well with someone who seems to be the life of the party on social media, who's also always positive, always with a motivational word. And this individual knows me. But yet when I meet that person in a physical space, they bypass me. They don't know me. This is not the same person that I see on social media being so hyped up, being so international and all of that, And then on the other side, you may come across in your workspace as being very professional, as being very proficient, efficient, etc. But then in the social media space, you let it all hang out. You just don't care. And you think, well, this is who I am. This is who I am in the party. It doesn't matter. But I think we still have to create boundaries about who we present ourselves as in a public space, because we have to recognize that social media is a public space. If you know that famous saying from Shakespeare that all the world's a stage.
That's right.
So no matter where we make our worlds, whether in our workspaces, in our schools, on the street, in our family, on social media, every facet, every platform is a stage. And who am I across these various stages? And I think it's important that we try to bring some level of parity in terms of who we are across the various spaces. Yes, you may engage in a more professional way when you're at work than when you perhaps are out on a date and, or you're at church. So we understand that our personalities are rich and diverse and they're dynamic. And there will be spaces where we can let our hair down and, we may want to dance, we may want to do certain things in certain spaces, we may want to worship, etc., in a way that you wouldn't at work. But at the same time, while there will be those variations, there should be something running through them all that connects you. You don't want to be fragmented. You don't want to be like a Jekyll and a Hyde. You know, you don't want to be somebody who is so warm and engaging on social media, but then when you meet people, you can't speak to them. I remember years ago, one of my sons said that to me. He said, "Mommy, these girls are something else when you see them on social media, but then when you take them out on a date, they can't talk."
And that is true. That is true.
And that same son says to me, "But mommy, anybody can be anything on Instagram. So you can make yourself into anything through careful photo placement, through using certain filters, using certain motivational quotes, which are always, everybody sounds the same, you know, but then who are you really when someone sits with you to have a conversation? Is there depth to your soul? You know, are you really compassionate? Do you care about other people, or are you just obsessed with yourself? You know, and one of the things that I'm so concerned about today in our age of social media, when we speak a lot about mental health and self-care, that people seem to think that self-care means posting 1,000 pictures of yourself every day, or being only consumed with, oh, I'm living my best life. You know, I am out here having a drink, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Now, don't get me wrong, I love social media and I do it. I do it as well. You know, when my husband and I go, I love to post. I love to chronicle my life. That's how I am. And there's nothing wrong with being that way. So don't get me wrong. But we have to understand that what we do present has to be real. And I'm not saying you're going to put all your bad stuff out there. You're going to wash your dirty linen necessarily in the public space. But at the same time, you want to make sure that what you do put out there is as authentic as it can be.
I think the bottom line there is that there's a consequence to every action. There is a consequence. Part of that consequence, too, is when you are applying for work. And somebody who has the responsibility of deciding whether it's you or not will search your social media to see who you are, who you present the world as yourself. And so that's why it's also important that we be our authentic self and be mindful of what how our actions impact generally, life in general, not just somebody else, but life in general. And so,
you know, Pearson, somebody might say about my authentic self isn't so pretty. You know, my authentic self is so nice. My authentic self isn't the best. And the thing about authenticity, it doesn't mean that you let any and everything hang out. That's not what we mean. You know, I think lots of people like to talk now about your best self. And it is okay to, as I said last time, it's okay to be self-compassionate. It is okay to admit, I don't know it all. I'm growing in this particular area. I need to develop myself some more. I need to gain some more knowledge. I need to develop my skills. There's nothing wrong with saying these things about ourselves and knowing these things about ourselves. Okay, so that's important too. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that, you know, all the things that you know you need to work on. Suppose you have a little problem with, you know, some words that slip out from time to time. You don't want to put that out there on social media. You know, and as you said, you know, you're hoping to get a job, you're hoping to move on in your career, and somebody checks that and says, well, why are they speaking like that in a public space? Why are they doing that? You know, so you still have to use wisdom in terms of how you create your brand. Nothing is wrong with creating a brand. I'm all for branding, but I think our brand must not be fake. But at the same time, we still need to manage how we do share things about ourselves. So it's a delicate balancing act. Okay, it is not one or the next. You do put your best stuff out there, and you manage the negative, you know, but at the same time, you're self-compassionate. And you can admit, well, yes, I do have some challenges in some areas, and these are some areas that I need to grow in. That's okay as well.
Dr. Denise Charles, that's okay. I have to leave it there. Thank you so very much indeed. This series is to be continued. If it be God's will, next Monday we're going to tackle it yet again. Dr. Denise Charles in our brand new series. Of course, if anybody wants to delve further and get some further insight with you, can they do so?
Yes, they can. They can check me out on Instagram as Dr. Denise J. Charles, or if they just put in Denise J. Charles, they'll find me there. I am on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm very easy to be found. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. See you next week. God's will life. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dr. Denise Charles, our life and relationship coach, joining us this morning as we took a look through social media. And I hope that you took some time to pay attention closely to what we were talking about just a moment ago, because if you're finding yourself challenged in the way that we've just described, maybe it's time to take another look back at what you do and how you do what you do. We'll take a break right here. We're coming back with more in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
The CBC That Made Us, featuring programming from yesteryear, which impacted the lives of many Barbadians. Join me, Sean Green, taking you back to some of your favorite shows from the late 70s, 80s, and 90s during the series The CBC That Made Us, every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. and repeated on Fridays 11:30 a.m. The CBC That Made Us.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Master Wanga Wanga Belly, you got most busy bottomless pit. Anytime we see you, you just eat and eat and eat. You eat when you're happy, sad and angry, and all when you're sick. Me here say you even young when you're dead at the latrine bit. If somebody wants to catch you, them are going to catch you through your gut. I'll fly a pitch in your mouth because you can't keep it shut. You are going to spend all of your money on food till you're broke. Well, next time hungry I kill you, you run out.
Well, that's a bit taken from the book Sugar Belly and Friends by a man who has always been passionate about writing short stories, and particularly in his Jamaican tongue. And joining us this morning is the author of Sugar Belly and Friends, Ryan Black. Ryan, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you for asking. How do you do?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Good. So here it is now, Sugar Belly and Friends. What's the background to that story, that's this book you've released?
Okay, so the background to this book actually came during the pandemic period. I kind of call it one of my pandemic babies. But yeah, you know, I sat around, I was writing a couple stories about one of my friends back home from high school. Kind of a more chubby kind of figure, and you know, he used to eat a lot. He used to, you know, kind of inspire this book. So that's kind of where it's coming from, you know.
So your fat friend, according to you, is the one who has inspired you to write this book, Sugar Belly and Friends. You've written it in the Jamaican Creole. You know, why did you think you had to base it in that?
Yeah, so I'm very proud of our, you know, our dialect, and just spreading the dialect across, you know, the diaspora, and, you know, to other countries, to other places. You know, it's kind of a big thing to me, you know, just kind of sharing the culture, sharing the language, and, you know, keep spreading it on.
So it tells the story of this young man, Sugar Belly, who takes his adventures everywhere. And so in doing so, he encounters many different people along the way. Share with me the plot so that when people begin to buy the book, Sugar Belly and Friends, that they understand what it is that they're engaging with.
Yeah, so Sugar Belly, he is a very tricky character, kind of like a Anansi kind of guy, you know, Anansi the spider.
Yes.
But yeah, Sugar Belly, he knows no limits when it comes to trying to be able to get his food. So he will go through all extreme lengths to get his food, you know. So that's kind of where it's really based on. And then we also do have a couple of poems in the book as well, just kind of, you know, sharing more about the cultural foods that you'll find, you know, especially in the Caribbean and like in Jamaica, you know, like mackerel and boiled dumpling, you know, manish water, things like that, you know.
So a lot of this is true to form, based on the culture of Jamaica.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you living in Jamaica at the moment?
So I'm actually currently in the United States,
right.
Currently at the moment.
And
So,
were you there when you wrote the book?
no, I actually wasn't there, but you know, during the pandemic, you know, you're missing home. That's kind of what
Right.
really, you know, got to
Right.
me, you know.
So you were in the United States. So in the missing of home is where you decided, you know what, let me just tell the story of Sugar Belly, because it helps for you to reminisce just a bit and to relive the feelings of home. And so it must have been truly a labor of love for you to put it all together.
100%, you knocked it right on the nail on the hammer right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. But you also, you know, in reading a little bit about you talked a lot about Louise Bennett and what it meant for you to have been a part of her offerings as well. What does it mean for you as a Jamaican to be following almost in the footsteps of someone so iconic as Louise Bennett?
It means a lot. It means a lot, you know, and I hope I can just, you know, continue to carry her work along and just, you know, kind of push it to even further lengths, you know. You know, she was one of the major influences in spreading the Jamaican culture and the Jamaican language worldwide, you know, and making people, making Jamaican people and Caribbean people proud of their dialects, you know. And that's kind of one of the things I want to continue pushing, and you know, encouraging the younger generation to, you know, be proud of their dialect in whichever settings that they are in, you know.
But there's a time and a place for everything, and so yes, I agree with you to be proud of your dialect, but know the time and the place, because you are Jamaican, and we don't hear the strong dialect coming from you, so there's a time and a place for it. And within this art of storytelling, there's a strong place for the use of the dialect, and I agree with you completely in that. Is this your first publication?
Yes, actually, this is my first publication coming out, and I'm trying to, you know, expand into other areas too. You know, probably more audiobooks, and also trying to, you know, get some help with creating like a cartoon and, you know, stuff like that. So we'll see where it goes.
I hope it goes everywhere. Did it scare you doing the project, that whether or not it will happen, whether or not it will be successful? Did it scare you at all?
I mean, yeah, at first, you know, spreading, that's how it always is when you try to share your talent with other people at first. But, you know, my mom was a big factor in, you know, pushing it out there. She was like, yeah, definitely. We got to put this out there. You should put these stories in a book, you know? So I was like, you know what? Yeah, you're right, you know? And that kind of, you know, pushed it out.
You've always been writing, so it wasn't that difficult for you to put it onto paper, to say, you know, this is the sketch, this is how we're going to design it and so forth. But then publishing, how did you move from that writing and all the rest into publishing and sketching and so forth?
Yeah, the big move right there. I would say more of, you know, just kind of feeling out the stories. I would, you know, share a story here with one friend, share a story here with a family member. You know, testing in kind of grooves, see what the vibe was like to which story and to which, you know, poem and stuff. And based on the feedbacks, I know which stories and which poems I would definitely put in the book. So that's kind of just feeling it out and knowing your audience too.
But so there you go. Now you have it all together, Sugar Belly and Friends. But you said in the book you also share with us some of the foods that Jamaicans love. Me I'll tell you, I love oxtails and red beans and rice. I love that, personally, myself. What's mannish water, by the way?
So mannish water is actually, it's kind of like a soup. Most people make it with like goat head or goat meat, things like that. And then, you roll your little dumplings and, yam and carrots and stuff you put in there.
Well, that's not for me. What you've just described is not for me at all. But when we think Jamaica as well, we also think of the ackee and saltfish. We think of jerk pork.
Yeah.
Those are some of the things that you've made. Jamaicans have made quite, a part of who they are indeed. And so the book shares with us some of the different dishes of Jamaica. Do you get a chance to also share some recipes? Just kidding. Just asking.
I mean, it comes through the poem, so there's probably like one or two, like mackerel and boiled dumpling. It kind of tells you like how to kind of mix it up, And the mannish water, definitely some of the ingredients in there too. So,
yes. Thanks, a little tricky Sugar Belly. Sugar Belly and his friends, they went on an adventure. They were so tricky, but they also, in doing so, were enjoying some of the foods, sharing the culture, sharing the language of Jamaica as well. And so it's a book available now for anyone to consume. Where can we get copies of the book Sugar Belly and Friends?
So we can actually get it online through Amazon. I'm trying to get a couple of Caribbean publishers on board. Not haven't got one as yet, but locally in Jamaica, you can also get it by calling the numbers 347. Well, actually, you can call my number at 347-200-5983, and we could set it up. And also, we do have the numbers 876-339-3820, and you should be able to get in contact with somebody there as well. They could get it distributed.
Amazon,
mainly on Amazon right now. Yeah.
Amazon for sure. And we saw Sugar Belly there enjoying the delicious mango of the Caribbean. We all love a mango. And so that's what it's all about. So it'll make great reading for adults. It'll also make some great reading for some younger people as well. And so we want to encourage as many of you as possible to get a copy of Sugar Belly. It's available on Amazon, Sugar Belly and Friends by this man, Ryan Black. Is that a common last name and surname in Jamaica, Black?
I mean, it's more common than you would think.
Really?
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
Okay, interesting last name. Thank you so much, Ryan, for joining us this morning. I wish you the best with all of your future endeavors, and the more writings you do, we can't wait to read and hear and enjoy as well. So thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Definitely, Parishes. Thanks for having me on the show.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome indeed. Ryan Black is the author. The book is called Sugar Belly and Friends. It's available on Amazon. Are you going to get your copy today to know more about Jamaica patois and also the Jamaican dishes and foods? I'm sure you will. Enjoy, everybody. We're coming back in just a moment with more on Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
The CBC that made us, featuring programming from yesteryear, which impacted the lives of many Barbadians. Join me, Sean Green, taking you back to some of your favorite shows from the late 70s, 80s, and 90s. During the series...
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
21 minutes to the hour of 8 o'clock. We're not going to shy away from this. The fact that just recently announced the new rates for taxi fares on the island. Have you seen them? I'm being serious. Have you seen them? What do you think? What do you think? Have you seen that? And this is coming out of a recent move by the taxi operators at the Grantley Adams International Airport to see an increase in fares. And so we've seen an increase in rates from every point to every point in Barbados. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Can you give us a call on 228-5562 or 228-5563 and let us know what you think? Have you considered yet the rates, and are those rates going to affect you? Do you use taxi services at the moment, and how would those rates affect you? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Give us a call. Let's hear your views on the change in rates, and then, or if you have an alternative to that, 228-5562, 228-5563. Let's hear what's on your mind where those new taxi rates are concerned, because if you're traveling from Paradise or Spring Garden and you're heading to Oistins, you shall now be paying $70. From Paradise, Black Rock there, to Oistins, you're paying $70 from now. If you're going to St. John Parish Church, you're going to be paying $91. From Paradise or Spring Garden to St. John Parish Church, $91. Look at the rates from Haywoods. If you're traveling from Haywoods and you're going to Bathsheba or Cattle Wash, that's the rate now, $89. That's what it looks like now. Are these rates affecting you? If you're going to Oistins from Haywoods, you're paying $126. $126 Barbados. Are these rates affecting you? What do you think? 228-5562 or 228-5563. I know some of you are gasping for just a moment because you did not know in detail, because you only thought it affected the airport. I know you did. If you're going from the Bridgetown Harbour or City Centre and you're heading to anywhere else, as you see on your screen, these are the rates. If you're heading to Calendars in Christchurch, it's going to cost you $61. From Bridgetown to Calendars Christchurch, from Bridgetown to the Crane Resort, $95. Are these manageable for you? What do you think? 228-5562 or 228-5563. If you have no thought, that's all right. But 228-5562 or 228-5563, these rates have now gone into effect, and they will be affecting your pocket if you're using taxi services as well. Are you considering an alternative if you have to? And if so, what is that alternative? Or are you going to be paying the new rates? Are you content with the new rates? Taxi drivers, you can weigh in too. For those of you who are watching, who are also taxi operators, we'd love to hear from you, your views on the new rates. What do you think? 228-5562 or 228-5563. All I ask is that you be respectful when you get through. And if you're traveling from the Grantley Adams International Airport, as you've seen there on your screen, and you know this one by now, me at Animal Floor Cave in St. Lucie, it's gone to $179. It's gone to $179. If you're going to Cattle Wash, it's going to be $102. And what's the nearest spot here for you now? If you're going to Providence, it's $32 from the airport. From the airport to Providence. Be respectful, folks. Good morning to you. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi. What do you think of the new rates?
I personally think that people like in the surrounding areas that can catch a bus should catch a bus. If you have weight like groceries and stuff like that, and the supermarket have a shuttle, hold the shuttle. If they don't have that, then you would catch a bus or bypass bus near to your home.
And you're saying that because?
The rates are a bit too high.
You think they're a bit too high?
Yes, please.
So what would be a more acceptable rate from Bridgetown, for instance, to Oistins, in your opinion?
It all depends on how much they were paying before, because I think they're paying a lot much more now from Bridgetown to Oistins. From Bridgetown to Oistins, the last time I paid $45.
All right. Well, thank you for weighing in on that. And I really want to thank you so much for your point of view, your perspective as well. Thank you all of national importance. We're going to take a break here, folks. We're coming back with more in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The CBC that made us, featuring programming from yesteryear, which impacted the lives of many Barbadians. Join me, Sean Green, taking you back to some of your favorite shows from the late 70s, 80s, and 90s during the series The CBC That Made Us, every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. and repeated on Fridays 11:30 a.m. The CBC That Made Us.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur,
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
15 minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock. Let's take a deep breath and let's get some fun now with unscrambling some letters. I know your minds are going crazy at the moment, and it's time for you to call me to unscramble some letters. You're doing very well so far. A number of you are getting it on the spot, which I like, which I truly like, because you're so creative in your mind. You're able to work it out very, very quickly. So, you know the numbers to call, 228-5562 or 228-5563 are the numbers to call to answer whether or not you think you can unscramble the letters. So let's go with the first word for you to unscramble today, Monday. I know it's difficult to wake up and to get your mind straight. So have you had your breakfast? Have you had your tea? As we say, we call breakfast tea. So have you had your tea already? Let's work this one. Oh, what is this? Immersio. What word do you think you can make when you unscramble the letters that you see on your screen at the moment? Give me the word that you can make. It is not Emerson. What word do you see? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Unscramble the letters and tell me the word. Unscramble the letters and share with me the word you make when you unscramble the letters you see on your screen at the moment. What word do you think we can make with these letters indeed? Be as creative as you possibly can. 228-5562 or 228-5563 are the numbers to call. Let's see what you can figure out for me today. Good morning. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, how are you doing?
Not bad, and you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. What's your first name and what parish are you watching from?
Sonia. And Michael.
Oh, Sonia. Sonia, your voice ain't getting better yet?
Not really.
Sonia, have you been to the DOCTOR?
N-O. H-O-M-B-R-E-N-E-B-I-E-S.
WHYNOT? You can, take your time, take your time. All right, Sonia, no problem. What word do you see on your screen?
This is a tricky one, Pearson.
I know.
This is a tricky one. It can't be summer because they're in the youth. So.
So what word is it?
No. No.
Emerson.
Not Emerson either. Cheeky. No.
What word is it? You can let it pass?
Yeah.
All right, Sonia. All the best to you, okay? Thank you, Sonia from St. Michael. Nope. 228-5562 or 228-5563. I told you this is a tricky one. This is a real tricky one. Got you good this Monday morning there. What word do you think you can make when you unscramble the letters on your screen? Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, Pearson. We made some memories over the years.
You know we have. I would say so too, but what do you say?
I said, yes, we made so many memories.
Absolutely right, sweet Rose. More memories indeed. Spot on. Thank you. Here?
Yeah, thanks.
Good girl. Memories is absolutely right. Memories, Sonia. It was memories. Look at this one now. Look at this one, folks. 228-5562, 228-5563. Notice TF. Sorry. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Now, there's a word there. There's a word right there. There is a word in these letters. Trust me. Sort them out, put them into order, and let me know the word you see right there on your screen. 228-5562 or 228-5563. What word can we make when we unscramble the letters you see on your screen right now? You switch it up. It's a new word on your screen, but it's also a good word. Very interesting word indeed. So let's see if we can work this one out. So not ice TF. Notice TF, not ice TF. All so many ways in which you can pronounce what we see on the screen. But there's a word when you unscramble the letters that you can make from unscrambling those letters on your screen. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. Notice TF. I don't know what you're talking about.
But you don't see notice TF too?
Yes, I do.
Right. I see that too. So what's your first name and what parish are you watching from?
Vilma.
Oh, it's you, Billy. Billy, yes. So Billy, tell me now, what is it? Notice TF.
I look like confetti.
I ain't asked you what it look like. I want you to tell me what it is. What is the word?
You look like confetti.
You sure? You sure, sure? I want to give you a third chance. Are you sure? Billy?
Last word, last final answer, right?
There's your final answer, Billy. I give you a last chance to try to correct it here. Are you sure?
Yes. Am I wrong?
No, you know me. I don't answer questions. I ask questions. But you're absolutely right, Billy. Well done. Thank you. Here. Right. Good girl. She's spot on. Confetti it is indeed. I know it looks funny, but it's confetti. C-O-N-fetty. F-E-T-T-I. Confetti. Hey, look at this one here now. Look at this one. Simobtain. Simobtain. What word do you think you can make from this one? I had to look myself to see what it is. 228-5562 or 228-5563. We have 9 minutes to go to 8 o'clock. What word do you think we can make when we unscramble the letters you see on your screen at the moment? What word is it? You have me working it out myself. That's the truth. I mean, poof, this is a hard one, boy. This is a difficult one. But I know you can do it. I know you can do it. 228-5562 or 228-5563, the numbers to call to unscramble, to let me know, to reveal for me what it is you've worked out. Good morning. Hello.
Hi, morning.
Hi, how you doing, sir?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Good, pretty good, pretty good. What's the first name or where are you calling from?
Bees.
Your first name is what?
Bees.
Your first name is
nickname.
Bees? Oh,
Yeah.
oh, they call you Bees.
Yeah.
And what parish are you in, Bees?
St. Michael.
Bees from St. Michael. Why do they call you Bees?
Pardon?
You sting? You sting? Why do they call you? Why do they call you what they call you?
And it's a long story. It might not be outside of
not for TV. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me Bees. What word do you see on your screen?
Mesmerize.
Mesmerize. Wait, you looking at the other one?
Pardon?
What letters do you tell me the letters you see right now? Tell me.
What a gone on.
Look at it now. Look at it now. What do you see? Tell me what you see.
N-O-T-I-C-E.
No, buddy. No. Listen, you far behind, dude. You are far behind because there's another word to that is now on the screen. You have a different service. You're watching TV on a different service, aren't you?
Yeah.
Listen, Bees. We have MCTV that keeps you up to date right here, right now. But Bees, thanks for calling. All right.
All right, thanks.
Thanks for calling. No, that's not the one that we're dealing with right now. But look, we're dealing with this one on the screen right now. 228-5562 or 228-5563. What word can you make with this one? And by the way, if you're using another service, MCTV is available to you. Good morning. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Bonjour. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Oh, wonderful. Don't listen to your TV, just listen to your telephone, okay? What is your first name and what parish are you watching from?
My name is Anthea. I'm calling from St. John.
Hello, Anthea of St. John. Having a good day today, Anthea?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. I mean, it's still early in the morning, right? So, Anthea, what word do you see on your screen at the moment?
Ambitions.
Let me look at it. A-M-B. Spell it for me.
A-M-B-I-T-I-O-N-S.
And you see ambitions in those letters there?
Yes, the letters on my screen are S-I-M-O-B-T-A-I-N.
Anthea is good, girl. You're spot on. Anthea, well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anthea from St. John. She is right. It is indeed ambitions. What do? Aha. Oh. This one now. Ooh. You want to dwell on this one? You want to take some time? You want me to give you some time? No. 228-5562 or 228-5563. This one looks big. This is a big one, ladies and gentlemen. This is a big one, baby. Can you figure out this one? Can you tell me what word you can make when you unscramble the letters you see on your screen? Position? Putrid position. Stop it, Pearson. 228-5562 or 228-5563. What word do you think we can make when we toss all these letters into correct order and unscramble them? What is the word you see on your screen? What word can we make? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Call quickly. Quickly. 228-5562 or 228-5563. This one is a tough one. I know. I could feel it. I could feel it coming from you. 228-5562 or 63. What word do you think we can make?
I get through.
Hello, you get through. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Hello?
How are you?
I'm good.
Oh, wonderful. What's your first name and what parish are you watching from?
Azura from St. James.
You are first name again?
Azura, A-Z-U-R-A from St. James.
Azura from St. James. That's a lovely first name. How old are you, Azura?
I'm good.
How old are you?
11.
You're 11. Are you ready for school already? I hope you have on your school uniform, okay?
All right.
Good. Azura, what is your name? Oh yeah, your school starts tomorrow. Pardon old me. What is the word you see on your screen, Azura?
Proposition.
Proposition.
Yes, please.
Nope. Azura, sorry here. But thank you for calling. Enjoy your today. Hope that you're ready for school tomorrow. Your bags all packed and your shoes all cleaned and all that ready for tomorrow. Come on, folks. It's not proposition. What is the word you see on your screen? Kind of close, though. What word do you see on your screen? Quickly. I have one more thing I want to share with you. So come quickly. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Sort the words. I'm going to hold this word until tomorrow. We're going to hold this word until tomorrow. So get it straight for tomorrow, okay? We're going to take a break here. We come back. I have something dazzling to share with you. Stay with us.
Morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So we know Barbados from down here on the ground. We know Barbados sometimes when we fly out at night and we look back and we say, oh, I love, look at the coastline. Have you seen Barbados in its entirety lit up at night? Have you? Well, one man did. Take a look at this. Take a look at this that you see on your screen. Come on, look at this beautiful Barbados. This is a big thank you from Victor Cruz, who is an American footballer and a TV host. He was recently here, and it was his way of saying thank you, Barbados. Look at how we look at night. Did you know this is what we look like? I know we know the shape from the map. We've seen the images, but what a stunning view. I have never myself seen this, flying at night. And wow, Victor boy, you got a good snapshot of who we are, what we look like. Isn't this beautiful? I think this is really, really beautiful. And right away, you can see all of those areas that are hugely populated because they're even more well lit than others indeed. But look at that. That's what you see from the sky at night. That's Barbados, our sweet island home indeed. And he's a pilot, by the way, and while piloting, look, Vince was his pilot, by the way. They tell me all sorts of things. Vince, the pilot, snapped a shot, and Victor Cruz wanted to say thanks to Barbados on his Instagram page. And we thank you to Victor as well. And we thank you, Vince, for capturing who we are from the sky at night. Beautiful indeed. That's it for today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. My producer has been Nadia Foster. Technical director has been Ruel Ford. At Master Control, Tamisha Green, I'm Pearson Boyne. For the crew, to all of you, have a good today. We will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.